would you describe this week so far coming home? Because I know you wanted to fight on this card originally, but has it been kind of fun to still get the love, but also not be in the fight week mode?
It's been great since I, came home to Ohio. I lived here for a few years, had some extensive amateur, cage fights and boxing back here, and the land's awesome. I've had some, tough fights growing up through here, so it's great to come back and the UFC come here, have formal teammates, with Stipe Miocic and Jessica Ai that's on the card, and also Araya Faber that's, my teammate now and mentor.
Faber has been pumping you up all week. I mean, even when he loses, he's talking about you. At the media day, he's talking about you. Do you notice that stuff, and what does that do for your confidence when you hear him doing that?
It's a guy that I looked up to, for many years now. Now I'm part of his team, and representing his team at the highest level and getting ready, for a title shot. So, he's been there, throughout his career in title fights and big fights and on the top since for decades now. So he knows, what I can do, and that's why he's pushing it. It's not that, just like with TJ, he pushed TJ, and TJ is a world champion. Araya is a very, intelligent human on, scouting fighters. That's why our team's so good. He sees talent, and he scouts them and brings them out, and that's how our team's so strong. So he knows what I can do, and that's why he's pushing for it.
In a perfect world, when would the Dom fight happen for you?
December 30th in Las Vegas. That in a perfect world. I think I live in a perfect world, so I think it's going to happen.
You mentioned at the Q&A, that's my next fight. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Is that official yet, or is that what you want your next fight to be?
Yeah, in my mind, that's my next fight, and I think in Dom's mind, he has to get ready for it. He knows it's upon him. The fans want it. It makes sense. I truly believe I'm next in line for the title shot.
But have they told you explicitly that you're getting it?
No, they haven't yet. Hopefully in the next weeks or so to come, we can come to agreements on some things and get it signed and get it done. But until then, I'm just enjoying, getting back in the gym, doing the media obligations. I've been super busy this year. It's my third fight, so just kind of enjoying it. Get to come home and, see some family and friends and enjoy some fights. So I'm just enjoying life and taking one day at a time.
What are some of the things that you need to agree on?
Just get in the fight. Dot some T's and cross some I's. Dot some I's and cross some T's. There you go. That's a blooper right there.
And you singled out UFC 207 as the card in that perfect world when you would fight him. Is that more important to you than maybe the Sacramento card?
You know what? I don't have Dom no excuse. I don't want to give Dom any excuses, when I dethrone him and steal his legacy. So, I say neutral grounds. Las Vegas is the fighting capital of the world. Not saying that he wouldn't come to Sacramento, but I don't want to hear that guy saying, after I beat him that he came in to my backyard, So even the playing field's out and fighting in Vegas.
I know you're a person who likes to visualize things, and I know you don't want to think too far past a fight with Dom, but if you were to win, do you see yourself in a situation where maybe the UFC comes back to Cleveland and you get a homecoming like Stipe?
That'd be great. I think tonight we'll showcase a lot of the fans, coming out here and supporting some local fighters like Stipe, who's fought and was born here and raised and gets his first title defense in Cleveland, and hope I can do the same once I get the title. First thing I gotta do is get the title.
After your win at 2-2, when you guys were kind of motioning back and forth to each other, it was picture perfect, right? Did you have any idea that was even a possibility?
No, I saw him up on the screen. I thought we were gonna do the fight breakdown, how you usually do. So I'm trying to gather my thoughts and calm myself down, because after a big win like that, your adrenaline is skyrocketed. So I see Dom's stupid ass face on the screen. I'm like, oh, so I was looking. I thought he was down here. I'm looking for him. I was ready to run through the cage and grab him up, but he was in the Fox booth, being safe, hiding behind the desk. So, yeah, I didn't expect that, but I'm glad that they put him on screen and he's willing to fight me. We'll see when the door locks.
What's the biggest lesson that Uriah Faber's taught you as a trainer?
Biggest lesson? Man, so many lessons. He's a great mentor. Think about it, he's been fighting since he was 24 years old. He's 37 now. Been fighting the top guys in the world. So one of the greatest things I would say is when I first got out there, I was kind of I was 1-0 when I came out there, and I didn't really train like a true professional. I just I was a fighter, you know. I was raw, I was a fighter. I had talent, skill. I guess changing it into a lifestyle, coming, you know, the MMA lifestyle, inside, outside, you know, what you do in the gym, what you do in the octagon, what you do outside. So I think that was the biggest change, is just being the lifestyle of becoming a, you know, mixed martial artist rather than just a fighter. You know?
And obviously he's been very successful on the marketing side of things. Has he taught you about that as far as like being able to trash talk and how you present yourself to make yourself a star?
You know, he helps out, but you know, I'm kind of my own person with that. I don't have a hard time with marketing myself or selling a fight. You know, I'm going out there and performing and, you know, calling out the champ. It's something I wanted to be since I was 13 years old. So I know I have to go out there and perform, and everything else will fall into place.
One thing that came out after your little run-in with Dom at 202 in the backstage area was there was some footage, and I saw that Daniel Cormier got in between you two. If Cormier didn't get in between you two, do you think something would have happened?
Oh, double-legged him on his head, you know, for sure. He was scared, you know. He wants to say, "What do you want?" He see that he has that fox position, so he can run to the media right away and say this. And you know, I just went up to him, I saw him, and I just want to let him know that, you know, I'm gonna knock the K out, and then you're next. You know, you want to, you know, talk shit in the media and act like we're cool. You know, like we saw each other. He's like, "What's up, dude?" I don't play that. That's, you want to talk shit in the media and bring it personal. So I just let him know that I'm gonna handle Takea, and then he's next. So I just let him. This is a little warning shot that what's coming next for him.
And how would you describe the mood at Alpha Male these days? You doing amazingly well, Paige getting back on track with that. It seems like the coaching situation has kind of really, you know, fallen into place. Justin's doing great. Like, do you feel like you guys are over that little tumultuous period with the guys leaving? Do you feel like you're in a groove again?
Yeah, you got to think that we had some turmoil, you know, with coaches leaving. Anything leaves, you know, any program, you know, any sport, college football or anything. You know, a coach leaves that's been there for a year or two, or however long Dwayne was there. I don't really know, but you know, you kind of got to find your groove, find your fix, and we were searching for it in all the wrong places. You know, we were bringing coaches in that, you know, didn't really mesh with our style or our attitude, or you know how we, you know, we enjoy life out there and we train hard. So we were looking for it all the wrong places, and we had it right there. We had it inside our walls. We had, you know, Danny Castile, you know, 20-plus UFC vet, or Zuffa vet, Chris Holdsworth, you know, undefeated fighter, UFC fighter, and you know, Justin Buckles. We had it all in our walls. We were going out searching for something, trying to find the missing puzzle, and we had it right there the whole time. So once, you know, that, you know, they stepped up and became the coaches, it's been amazing. I mean, it feels awesome. Every day I go in there, I'm excited to learn, get better, train hard. I know that those guys are all ex-UFC fighters, so I know that they're not going to get us ready to perform at the highest level and where we're at now. I think that's why you're seeing so much success, because they know what it takes to get us there and keep us there.
When you do fight Dom, how do you visualize the fight going down? A lot of people say it's power versus speed.
It's you know, speed. Call him speedy because he runs and he does, you know, cool footwork. But he's fought a lot of fighters that doesn't have extensive background in boxing as I do, and that's a lot of stand up where he likes to go. You know, learning how to cut off the cage is a huge thing a lot of these fighters don't know how to do. That's why I can get away with that broken movement and that unorthodox movement, because they don't know what he's doing in there. You know, I've had, you know, plenty of experience in stand-up to be able to learn how to cut off the cage, fight southpaws, fight lanky dudes, just all that. So I don't think that these fighters that he's fighting on the stand-up part know how to cut off the cage, and know when he switches or when he's doing all that footwork, what they need to do, their head hunting, you know. And I know that I have the power, but I also have the speed. I don't think he's fought anyone that has had both. You know, he's fought some fighters that had speed, but they don't have power. I possess both.
So how do you see it playing out if you guys?
Oh, knocking him out. I said with the Thomas Almeida fight, I said, you know, I'll knock him out in the first round, and I said with the Takea fight, the first big shot that I land, that he'd crumble. And I believe myself. You know, I work hard, dedicate myself to this, and I believe in my dreams that I have, you know, throughout the whole camp. So, and I've been having this dream of knocking Dominick out since I was a teenager, and I probably faced him a million times in my head. And I'll tell you what, I'm 1,000,000 against him.
You'll always take an early knockout, but do you think that there would be any value in one of your fights going a little longer, especially if you get signed up to a 5-round fight?
Yeah, you know, I think it'd be funny to go out there and beat Dom in his fighting style. You know, go out there and just outpoint him, outclass him, take him down, and ride out a decision. but we all know that's not going to happen. I'm going to go out there and, you know, really impose my will on him. And like I said, he's built a legacy of being one of the greatest bantamweight fighters ever, you know, to fight. And I'm prepared to take everything from him.
Do you believe he's the second best bantamweight, or is he just a guy just at fortunate matchmaking?
You know, I think that, you know, the injuries played a part of him, you know, being at the top so long. I don't think that if he stayed active that he would, you know, be like this. He's let his body heal. Obviously, knee injuries are pretty hard to come back from, and I applauded him for that. But in the same sense, I don't think that if he was fighting the top guys over the past, you know, 5 years or whatever his layoff was, that he would be on top. You know, it's a different sport in there now, and like I said, fighters like me, young hungry fighters, are, you know, on the upward, and I don't think that he's ready for something like that.